Welcome to Phase 2, Plyometric Cardio. Today we'll be using explosive movements just like Phase 1, Plyometric. What you'll need today, you're actually going to need a chair. We'll be using this for a couple of different exercises today. So make sure you have it handy. Remember, today's going to be all about explosive movements, so you're going to want to make sure you get lift every move that you do. And we're going to go ahead and start today off with some jump ropes. Now remember, with the jump ropes, you want to make sure you're leaving the ground every time. You also want to make sure that you're swinging your arms just like if you were to have a real jump rope in your arms. If you have one, it would be great to use it during this exercise, but it's not necessary. We're really just looking to warm you up with the jump ropes. And here we're going to have you rest. Today's workout format is going to be a 45-second on, 15-second rest. We have good reason for doing this, but for now, let's go ahead and move into our next one, which is going to be crisscross feet. You're going to jump in the air and move your feet side to side, but you're going to keep one foot in front of the other the entire workout. The reason that we're doing a 45 seconds on, 15-second rest is going to be to build up your cardiovascular endurance. This is really going to help you throughout the rest of the exercises, and you're going to notice a difference between Phase 2 and Phase 3, much like you did between Phase 1 and Phase 2. Alright, and let's rest. Next exercise up is going to be butt kicks. You'll remember these. Every time you move, you want to keep your back straight and put your foot at the back of your heel into your butt. Let's get started. Now, as you can see, Joe's showing you a couple different ways. You can either bounce back and forth, or you can stay right in front in one position. But just make sure every time you lift that your heel touches your butt and that your back is straight. Alright, let's rest. And our last exercise for the warm-up is going to be the Heisman. I want to remember with the Heisman that you're going to touch your elbow to your knee every time. And let's get started. Keep in mind also that you want to keep your back as straight as possible, and you want to squeeze your core every time you bring your knee up. This is going to help develop a stronger core. Going to help develop your obliques and your abs. Even though this is a warm-up, you still want to make sure that you're contracting every single rep. And let's rest. Knowing that we're about to move into the first round, then you're going to want to get some water now. Do some light stretching. Just move around a little bit. Take advantage of the time that we have off. Get yourself mentally prepared for round one. You can see Joe is stretching out his quads. Good idea. Anytime we're doing jumping movements, you want to stretch those quads out as much as possible. And the first exercise we're going to move into is jumping lunges. On this, you're going to remember, keep your back straight, keep your knee behind. Let's go ahead and get started. Keep your knee, the front knee, behind your toes, and make sure you leave the ground every single time. Now this is a plyometric workout. It's meant to get your heart rate up. But if you notice that you're compromising form, take a quick break, run in place, and then start doing the jumping lunges again. And let's rest. Next up is going to be mountain climbers. If you'll remember, in this one, it's going to be a push-up position. Let's go ahead and move into it. Start with the mountain climbers. As I always mention with mountain climbers, the best way to tell if you're having good technique is if your t-shirt begins to ride up on your back. You need to lower your butt. You also need to straighten your back out. If you cannot perform them this way, you need to take a break and then get back down in the proper form. And let's rest. Next up, we're going to be doing something called squat pulses. For the squat pulse, you're going to bend down into a squat position. Let's go ahead and get started. And just like Joe is doing here, you're going to bounce, but you're going to stay in the squat position the entire exercise. You want to make sure you keep your core engaged, squeeze those abs. Make sure that you're breathing. When you need a quick break, stand up for a second and get right back into the squat position. The movement should not be large. You should just be bouncing in that squat position. Keep bouncing. Push through. I know it's burning. You just got to push through this exercise. And let's rest. Next up, we have something called V crunches. You're going to lay down in a push-up position with your feet out. Go ahead and move into that position. Now, you're going to put your hands behind your back. And you're going to bounce up in a V-type position. Touch the toes to the feet. If that becomes too difficult, there's a couple different ways that you can do it. Just watch Joe on the screen here. You can pull your knees forward, or you can lay on your back and pull your legs up and then reach up and touch your toes. Ideally, just the way that Joe is doing them now is the way that you want to do those V push-ups, or those V set-ups. Whenever you need a break, place your feet on the ground, take a couple deep breaths, and then start again. Let's go ahead and rest for now. We're going to take a minute here, and then we're going to move back in to jumping lunges for the second round of round one. Advantage of the break and make sure you're hydrating yourself. Get yourself mentally prepared. We're about to start again. So get yourself in position. And let's go. Again, remember you want to leave the ground every single rep. Take breaks here when you need to, and then get right back into the jumping lunges. And let's rest. Next up is going to be mountain climbers. And let's go ahead and get started with the mountain climbers. Remember, your rest technique for mountain climbers is going to be putting your knees both on the ground, taking a couple of seconds rest, and then getting right back into it. Alternatively, if you're feeling good, you can just put your feet both in the same place, bend up like an upside down V, and then move back into the mountain climber. And rest. Next up, we've got squat pulses. And let's move into the squat pulses. Again, your movement should not be large. You want to stay primarily in that squat position. You're just going to be doing a small bounce. When you need to rest, you stand up for a second, get right back into it. Squat pulses tend to be very difficult for people, but they're one of the most beneficial exercises that you can do to give yourself some extra endurance, and also make sure that you're taking advantage of your legs. Keep pushing. All right. Push through, and let's rest. Next up, you've got V crunches. Go ahead and get down in your position. All right, legs out, hands up, and let's move into the V push-up. If these become too difficult, remember we've given you several alternatives. Just make sure you're getting that V-shaped sit-up. You should be feeling this movement from the bottom abs all the way up to the upper abs. You're going to feel this all up and down your core. That's okay, just keep it burning throughout the process. And rest. Grab a drink of water. Stretch out whatever's hurting you right now. And get ready. We got one more round of this. So you're going to want to make sure that you're loose. Your body is obviously warm right now. Make sure you hydrate it. So in the next exercise, we're going to move into basketball shots. You will remember these from phase 1. You're going to be going to the ground acting like you're picking up an imaginary basketball and you're going up for a shot. Be careful not to round your back. Make sure you lift off the ground. Let's get started. Make sure that your feet leave the ground. You want to bend your knees slightly and jump. and rest. You got 15 seconds here. Make sure you take advantage. Stay moving. And next, we're going to move into boxer hooks. So you're going to stand in position and hook. Let's get started. As Joe is showing you here, you got an uppercut, or you can do a standing right hook. But either way, lead in with your shoulders, contract the core, squeeze it as much as you can, and remember to breathe. Keep swinging. This is a cardio deep exercise, so it should get you out of breath, but you just want to keep swinging. Remember, lead with the shoulder. Let's take a break. Next up, you're going to be in a squatted jab position. So you're literally going to sit into a squat, and you're just going to jab. Let's get started in that position. No real way to do the jab, however you feel most comfortable. You don't want it to feel uncomfortable on your shoulders, but your shoulders should come into play in this exercise. Your legs should also be burning just a bit. Remember to keep the back straight and remember to breathe. And take a break. Next up on the list is going to be burpees. Remember with the burpee to keep your back straight as you extend, and make sure you leave the ground. Let's get started. Burpees are one of the toughest exercises that you have, but you have to have the mental grit to push through them. They're also one of the most rewarding exercises you can get because they're going to give you the most bang for your buck. Push through, remember to leave the ground, and before you know it, you'll be a master. Keep going, keep going. And let's rest. Remember, now's a great time to get some water in your body. Take deep breaths. Make sure you're controlling your breathing. Do some light stretching if you need to. We've got one more round, and we're going to move on to the next exercise. Just make sure right now you focus mentally, and you'll push right through. All right, in our next round, we're going to go ahead and start again with basketball shots. Remember not to round your back. Let's get started. Remember, bend your knees slightly. You don't have to go all the way into a squatting position. Pretend like you're picking up a basketball. You've got to make that game-winning shot. Just push through. Every time you pick that ball up, you have to leave the ground. Make sure your feet come off. Take breaks when needed. Remember to run in place and get right back to it. And let's rest. Next up, we're going to move into our boxer's hooks. Stand in an upright position. and hook. Let's go. Really want to put some force behind these swings. Whether that's an uppercut, like Joe's showing you here, or that you're just hooking in a traditional manner, side to side. Just make sure you're moving and make sure you're squeezing that core as tight as you can. And rest. Next up, we're continuing with that boxer type of exercise. So you're going to get down into a squat and you're going to jab. And squat and jab. Remember, there's no right or wrong way to do this. Just want to make sure that you're jabbing and you're staying in that squat position. You should feel your shoulders coming into this slightly. So if you got a little burn up top, that's totally okay. That's the way it should be. Keep pushing, keep fighting through. Stay in that squatted position and keep swinging. Take a break. In just a moment, we're going to move into burpees. All right, let's go, guys. Burpees. Push it through. Remember, when you pop out, get that back straight. Every single time that you burpee, you should be leaving the ground. Every single time. When you need to take a quick break, remember, run in place. You have scheduled breaks every 45 seconds. Run in place and get right back into the burpee. Keep going. Keep going. And let's rest. Good news, guys, you got a minute's rest. But go ahead and get that chair out right now. We're going to use this chair for 2 different exercises. And this is the last round that you got. We're going to use this for 2 different exercises. One is going to be for a box jump. And one, you're going to lean on the chair and you're going to pull your knee up to your elbow as an oblique movement. Get yourself mentally prepared and mentally ready. Remember, with the box jumps, you want to get close to the chair so that you're not jumping across the room. But you want to be far enough that you're going to help yourself out. Let's go ahead and get started with these knees to obliques. So you're pulling each knee to the same elbow. Make sure you squeeze your core and that you're breathing every time you do it. So that knee should come out to the side, up to the elbow, back down, move on the opposite elbow. Take a break, guys. Move it back to the side because you're going to need it for the box jumps. And get ready. Let's jump. We're coming to the end of the exercise, guys, so make sure you push through. Give it everything you got. Explode onto that chair. Take advantage of the box jumps. They're so good for your cardio system. They're so good for weight loss. They're so good for burning fat. Take advantage. Push through this exercise. Keep moving, keep pushing. And let's take a quick break. The next up, we're going to be doing wind sprints. Where as I call them out, you're literally going to run in place as fast as you can. And then you're going to take a quick jog. So when you get started, sprint fast as you can, run in place as fast as you can. Churn the arms, churn the knees, churn the legs. And run in place. Here you're doing a really light jog. Run 15 seconds on and then 15 seconds of sprinting. And sprint as fast as you can. Hands moving, arms moving, legs moving. And let's jog it out. 15 seconds of jogging and then you get a break. Keep pushing through, guys, but make sure you jog. And let's rest. Ladies and gentlemen, you are one round to freedom. Push through this exercise. We've got one circuit left. You're almost done. Drink some water. Stretch out whatever you need to. And get ready because we're going to go knees to elbows. Standing on the chair. That's coming up in a few seconds. All right, let's get ourselves ready. We've got knees to elbows coming up. And let's get going. Each knee to the elbow. Remember to squeeze your abs, squeeze your core as you're doing this exercise. Keep going. I know you got it in you. I know you have it in you. Keep pushing. And rest. Next, we're moving into our box jumps. Let's go. Remember, every time you jump, you explode onto the chair. Do it at your pace, but make sure you explode. And rest. Last exercise of our plyometric cardio is wind sprints. Remember here, you're going to sprint as fast as you can. Let's get started. Remember to let your legs and your feet leave the ground. Sprint through it. And let's jog. Keep your feet moving as you jog, just not in a really fast pace. Get yourself prepared, and let's sprint. Keep churning those legs, keep churning those arms, let's sprint it out. Finish strong. And let's jog. Keep jogging. And just like that, you are done with phase 2 plyometric cardio. Great job to everybody out there. Let's keep going.